everybody, applause everybody. No guys, don't worry, I'm not struggling from self narcissism or so. I just want to make fun really, and I have, and this is kind of sport, and I want to share with you. Maybe you also smile a bit, so it's just for fun, you know. It's not about like, oh, I think I'm not fit enough, and I think, but maybe I'm just like, doesn't matter. But I wanted to hear the song and the music because it's very beautiful. It was one of the first songs that I have heard of my first French songs. And it was when I learned French. You can't imagine, when I was 14 years old, and I tried, because whenever I tried to learn some foreign language, and I would also recommend this, you should fall in love with this language, it helps. No, I don't mean to do it via bed and so on, but sometimes it also helps. But whatever you prefer, I mean guys, it's for you the best, okay? And do it safe. Okay, love you guys, and make peace and love, not war, okay? I see you're already busy, because otherwise someone would have watched this video, but no, it's okay. You don't have to. I'll just do it for myself. I will just it's funny for myself, even, really. I'm enjoying. Of course, you understand. Where was I? Bohemienne. So this is like the gypsy, but the matter is that she goes through the roads and she admires the sky, the ciel of the Andalusia, the mountains of Andalus. She admires the landscapes, and she says, I'm the daughter of a big road, because I'm everywhere and I just go everywhere, and this is my freedom, and I want to see the world too, you know, like that. And everywhere you meet beautiful people, you meet beautiful landscape, everything is beautiful. And like now I understand this Victor Hugo much more, because at those times, you know, when I read, I also tried to write prose. Actually, I wrote all the time. I have like loads of noted books where I just wrote my thoughts. I always wanted to write, but I was always postponing it. Once I was told, you must write a book, you must write a book. Well, and you know what, there are definitely lots of different, first of all, from a psychological point of view, all the books are interesting, because you can think what the author was thinking about, what made him think so, you know. You ask yourself these questions: why does he write like this? Why is he? What's the plot? What's the behind story? What did he want to say? What did he want? What message was behind it? Sometimes there is no message. Sometimes it's for fun. It's for sure. No. But I love this, you know, this kind of very philosophical stuff. My favorite writer is Bulgakov, and I can give a lecture about him. I really love him so much. Some favorite writers. Oh well, I like fantasy a lot. Really love it, and I understand why. Because first of all, like chronologically and historically, the first book which I read was fairy tales, Georgian fairy tales, and since that time I have read about 200 different fairy tales books. And also, there were the times when they used to switch up the light in Ukraine. In the south of Ukraine, there was no electricity, and we lived in a small flat. And it was okay. Actually, we lived in different times and different. But the matter is that it was cold usually if it was within flat, because there was no heating. Because the water was supplied due to the electric current, because it was the so-called водонапорная башня. I don't know how to translate it, guys, help me. The water pumping station, and it was in the tower, so to say. And when what? And if there was no electricity, there was no water, and the water was also heating the apartments, the buildings. So it was 7 degrees cold in the flat, and we didn't have light, no TV, no music. But my parents, they always played guitar, and sang a lot of different, and I'm used to singing near the guitar, near the fireplace, with the students, etc. I love it so bad, so much. I love it so much. This different festivals and fire shows, and when nice people meet and have fun. And but you all have such stories. We all have them like that. It's not something extraordinary. And yes, and make love and peace, no war, and let's dance, of course. And yes, of course. And how to not make war? Yeah, okay. So let's first of all, it's a conflict. And we should understand that the conflict is. Now I want to elaborate on this. Okay, Russians and Ukrainians. So this is the example of the conflict. It's just from the other. I'm explaining you my strange logic. And the chat was where two nations, mainly, I think so, representatives of two nations started, yelling at each other and trolling and insulting and so on and so on, using not such a correct literal words and not very polite. And when I entered this chat, I just remembered that we all won, Politicians may divide us, wars. There are some guys for whom it's probably profitable, for maybe producers of weapons, probably, and maybe some political ideas and so on. But as Mahatma Gandhi said, the best war is the prevented one, the one that has never happened. He was the leader of peaceful revolution. Maybe not everything was super, etc., but he was always very liberal. The matter is, guys, that if you think you want this territory to make, you want to prosper, definitely, and you want just to get some reward for your efforts, whatever you do. Also conquering new territory, so you want to this. And the matter is that, for example, guys, please don't judge me too much, okay? I know I'm informed about political situation, etc., and I understand that sometimes it is profitable for some to comment it likewise, and that's because I know about propaganda. I have read the book about not only one book, but the history of propaganda. You should also learn, and if you understand how everything is working, how it's much deeper than you think. We're all trapped in our own minds, and because they give us. We're surrounded by different sources of information, and we are not judging these sources very frequently. Not like like Lenin said in what was that? Unfortunately, not all the posts in the internet are checked and corporate V.E. Lenin, So it's like okay, it's not a joke. You didn't get it. Maybe I didn't tell it in the right way. But anyways, as for conflict, yes, as for Russians and Ukrainians, and they started insulting each other, and I just wrote such things. You know what? I am very sorry for both, for representatives of both nations who dare to use such lexics, such vocabulary, and dare to be so rude and so impolite. And I cannot imagine that these are representatives of the nation of great Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Shevchenko, Lisa Ukrainka, Ivan Franko. I love both. I love, as a teacher of languages, I had different students of different ages, weight, sexes, and nationalities. And everybody, I told everybody, I'll tell you as well, you can do it. You can do it. You're wonderful. You can do it. Don't worry. Yes, you can. Come on, go, yes. Don't worry. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Such. Let's play some game. I want children. I want to change the education in in what way? We have the most. Watch 3 Idiots. Watch 3 Idiots, you'll understand. most children go to school, you know, and you remember how you went to school with such feeling. This school again, it's so early. Can I sleep 5 more minutes, please? Oh, I don't want to go to school. It's so boring. There is a little task, blah blah blah. But I want to make such schools where children, where I cannot sleep. I want to go to school. You know, where they will have much fun because they're restricted and said, okay, guys, I understand you're probably questioning because also my colleagues, teachers, how can we do it? In what way? What do you recommend us? Actually, it would be very simple, using all the methods we can just to motivate them. This is the best thing because most children just learn something, as I did in school, learn something to forget, to pass the exam, and then forget. Like, especially physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And I'm so sorry. I regret it so much. Please, if you watch this video, my teacher of physics, Natalia Vladimirovna, please don't kill me. I was so afraid of her. I was so afraid of my teacher of physics. I could cry. No, I cried days and hours when I had to prepare it. I just learned everything by heart. I didn't understand a single thing. It was so difficult. I was like trembling. She was a nice person, but every time in physics I was like, oh my gosh, physics again, physics. Oh no, what shall I do? Yeah, it was really fun. Now I was like, and since the time I have been to technical museum in Vienna in Austria, and also in technical museum here in Amsterdam, Nemo, and also in Kiev, Experimentarium. And now people make such things and watch some videos on YouTube by this monobrowed guy, so such a cool guy. And these guys, oh my gosh, they're so cool, and you can see what kind of things they create, and these explosives of this electric current, how it works. And you know what kind of magic I saw there? It just impressed me so much. Okay, so can you imagine this? So two tubes, one tube and the other tube, yeah? So absolutely nothing in there apart. In one tube there is a feather. You know what is feather? In feather in birds, like this is the feather, and the stone. I was a teacher, I have to explain everything. So funny. So the stone was lying on the surface, and I just put and these two tubes, in one there was the stone, and in the other feather, and you just turn them upside down, and these two things, they fall outside rapidly with the same speed. Did you hear me? With the same speed. Feather and the stone. With the same speed. I was so, what? I was like in shock. I was standing and making this again and again. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Am I stoned? What has happened? What is wrong? And then they told me, it's because of resistance, of the air resistance. How can one be so stupid? Yeah, well, anyways, yes, so let's love each other. It's very, very important. Please spread my message around the world. And also this thing. We tend to forgive. Please forgive as soon as possible. They're enemies. They used to be enemies, and all the neighboring countries, they fought with each other. Really. France with Germany, Germany with France, Holland with Germany, Holland with Spain. Why Spain? This is so funny. Okay, no, it was not funny, of course. No. Oh, Gott sei Dank, es ist vorbei. Es war nicht da. Bitte kein. Gamarjoba. This is the first thing that they say in Georgia. I love Georgia very much. Maybe the next one we will be in Georgia. So, and in Georgia they say Gamarjoba, which means to peace. To peace.